Prabhupada Paramahamsa Parivrajakacarya Shodasata Shri Srimad Vaishnava Bhaktivedanta Swami Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Srimad Brahma Samhita ki Jai. Sri Brahma Samhita ki Jai. Krishna Book ki Jai. Lord Shiva ki Jai. Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vikasa Swami Vinaya. Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Vinaya. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Krishane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Deshitarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, so we're one day late, but I thought I'd talk something about Lord Shiva. Yesterday being Shivaratri, and also kind of address some conceptions or quote unquote misconceptions within the devotional community about Shiva and worship of him on Shivaratri, or worship in general of him. So I'm going to read from Brahma Samhita, text 45. So you have phones, pull up, or then you can chant this. It's a very important verse actually in the Brahma Samhita, and the volume is fine now, so you can sit here.
What was the verse?
45. Okay, so please repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Okay. I'm going to chant every single word and then do the whole verse because it's a different verse. So we were not doing that in the previous two classes because we were doing the same verse. Kshiram Yatha Dadhi Vikara Vishesha Yoga Sanjayate Na Hi Tataha Pruthak Asti Hetoho Yaha Shambhuta Api Tatha Samupaiti Arya Govindam Adipurusham Tam Aham Bhajami. Kshiram Yata Dhadi Vikara Vishesha Yoga.
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 Sanjayate Nahi Tatah Prutahasti Heto.
Sanjayate Nahi Tatah Heto.
Sanjayate nahi tatah prataghasti heto.
Sanjayate nahi tatah prataghasti heto.
Yashambhutam api tatha samupaiti karya.
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 Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami.
Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami.
Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami.
Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami.
Shriram Yatha Dadi Vikara Vishesha Yoga.
Shriram Yatha Dadi Vikara Vishesha Yoga.
Sanjayate nahi tatah prutaghasti heto.
Sanjayate nahi tatah prutaghasti heto.
Yasham Yashambhutamapi tata samupaiti karya.
Yashambhutamapi tata samupaiti karya.
Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami.
Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami.
Kshiram yatha dadi vikara vishesha yoga.
Kshiram yatha dadi vikara vishesha yoga.
Sanjayate nahi tatha pritagasti heto.
Sanjayate nahi tatha pritagasti heto.
Yashambhutamapi tata samupaiti karya.
Yashambhutamapi tata samupaiti karya.
Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami.
Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami.
क्षीरं यथा दधि विकार विशेष योगात्
क्षीरं यथा दधि विकार विशेष योगात्
संजायते नहि ततः पृथगस्ति हेतुः
संजायते नहि तथा पृथगस्ति हेतुः
यशम्भुताम् अपि तथा समुपैति कार्यात्
यशम्भुताम् अपि तथा समुपैति कार्यात्
गोविन्दमादि पुरुषं तमहं भजामि
गोविन्दमादि पुरुषं तमहं भजामि
श्रीराम यथा दधि विकार विशेष योगात्
श्रीराम यथा दधि विकार विशेष योगात्
संजायते नहि ततः पृथगस्ति हेतुः
संजायते नहि तथा पृथगस्ति हेतुः
शम्भुतामपि तथा समुपैति कार्यात्
यशम्भुतामपि तथा समुपैति कार्यात्
गोविन्दमादि पुरुषं तमहं भजामि
गोविन्दमादि पुरुषं तमहं भजामि
Anybody else? Try. No?
क्षीरं यथा दधि विकार विशेष योगात्
क्षीरं यथा दधि विकार विशेष योगात्
संजायते नहि तथा पृथगस्ति हेतुः
संजायते नहि तथा पृथगस्ति हेतुः
यशम्भुताम् अपि तथा समुपैति कार्यात्
यशम्भुतामपि तथा समुपैति कार्यात्
गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि
गोविन्दमादि पुरुषं तमहं भजामि
Kshiram, milk. Yatha, as. Dadhi, yogurt. Vikara vishesha, of a special transformation.
Special transformation.
Yoga, the application. Sanjayate, is transformed into. Na, not. He, indeed. Tataha, from the milk. Prithak, separated. Asti, is. Hetoho, which is the cause. Yaha, who. Shambhutam, the nature of Lord Shiva. Api, also. Tatha, thus. Samupaiti, except. Karyat, for the matter of some particular business. Govindam, Adi Purusham, the original person. Sam, him. Aham, I. Bhajami, worship. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Prabhupada. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Prabhupada ki jai. Just as milk is transformed into curd by the action of acids, but yet the effect curd is neither the same as nor different from its cause, milk, so I adore the primeval Lord, Govinda, of whom the state of Shambhu is a transformation for the performance of the work of destruction. Purport. The real nature of Shambhu, the presiding deity of Mahesh Dham, is described. Shambhu is not a second godhead other than Krishna. Those who entertain such discriminating sentiment commit a great offense against the Supreme Lord. The supremacy of Shambhu is subservient to that of Govinda. Hence, they are not really different from each other. The non-distinction is established by the fact that just as milk treated with acid turns into curd, so Godhead becomes a subservient when He Himself attains a distinct personality by the addition of a particular element of adulteration. This personality has no independent initiative. The said adulterating principle is constituted of a combination of the stupefying quality of the deluding energy, the quality of non-plentitude of the marginal potency, and a slight degree of the ecstatic cum cognitive principle of the plenary spiritual potency. This specifically adulterated reflection of the principle of the subjective portion of the divinity is Sadashi, in the form of the effulgent masculine symbol god Shambhu, from whom Rudradev is manifested. In the work of the mundane creation as the material cause, in the work of preservation by the destruction of the sundry asuras, and in the work of the destruction to conduct the whole operation, Govinda manifests himself as a Gunavatar in the form of Shambhu, who is the separated portion of Govinda imbued with the principle of a subjective plenary portion. The personality of the destructive principle in the form of time has been identified with that of Shambhu by scriptural references that have been adduced in the commentary. The purport of the Bhagavata shlokas, Vaishnavanam Yata Shambhu, is that Shambhu, in pursuance of the will of Govinda, works in union with his consort Durga Devi by his own time energy. He teaches pious duties, dharma, as stepping stones to the attainment of spiritual service in the various Tantra Shastras, etc., suitable for jivas in different grades of conditional existence. In obedience to the will of Govinda, Shambhu maintains and fosters the religion of pure devotion by preaching the cult of illusionism, Mayavad, and the speculative Agama Shastras. The 50 attributes of individual souls are manifest in a far vaster measure in Shambhu, and 5 additional attributes not attainable by jivas are also partly found in him. So Shambhu cannot be called a jiva. He is the Lord of jiva, but yet partakes of the nature of a separated portion of Govinda. Om Ajnanatimina. Oh, already chanted that. Hare Krishna. Okay. Shri Chaitanya Prabhu Vande Balopi Yattat Anugraha Tare Nana Matagraha Vyaptam Siddhanta Sagar Narayana Namaskritya Naramacheva Narottama Devi Saraswati Vyasa Tato Jai Bhuvir Guru Vaishnava Bhagavan Tine Vismarna Hoy Vigna Vinasha Anayasha Hoy Nija Vachita Purana. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. So, this is Brahma Samhita, sung by Lord Brahma at the beginning of creation, when he had darshan of Lord Krishna, who imparted the Gayatri mantra to him and the Vedas to him, and thus Brahma became potent to execute the task of creation. I have a request. Can you write it up? Sorry. Okay. So now this particular verse, which has been commented by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, it's the whole Brahma Samhita is a text that describes the entirety of Krishna consciousness in this text, and it's in many ways quite technical, but one who is able to understand the Brahma Samhita, he can understand everything about Lord Krishna and everything associated with the material universe. So in particular, the Brahma Samhita is worshipped by us because there Brahma describes how the Supreme Personality of Godhead is Adi Purusha. He is the original personality of Godhead. How everything has emanated from him. What does he do? What is this about? For instance, there are verses like Goloka Namini Jadami Taleta Tasya Devi Mahesha Haridama Suteshu Teshu. That Krishna is in Goloka Vrindavan. Yeah? And where is that Goloka? It is even higher than Vaikuntha. These kind of information we get from Brahma Samhita. The Brahma Samhita is a very, for the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, Brahma Samhita is what you can call in English as a cardinal text. Cardinal text meaning a very, very fundamental text of that particular religion. Prabhupada uses this word sometimes. Bhaktisiddhanta uses this quite a lot. This word cardinal. It's more in reference to it's a Catholic word. But anyways, it's a very key text. And this text defines the fundamental philosophy of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, which although we are Vaishnavas, we have our own understanding based on what our acharyas have presented, which is different to the other sampradayas. And Brahma Samhita is the basis of that, and explains the basis of that understanding. And so in this particular verse, the verse is very simple to understand, that Lord Shiva is described as being equal to but different, similar, not equal, similar to Vishnu, Narayana, Krishna, but still simultaneously different. How just like yogurt, curd is similar to milk but also different. But yet milk is superior because milk is the origin of yogurt. Yogurt will not exist without milk. Milk can exist without yogurt. Yogurt cannot exist without milk. That yogurt requires milk to come into existence. Milk did not require yogurt. So, in that particular example, now it's very important to understand that analogies are understood only in the aspect of understanding the principle that is derived from the analogy. You cannot say, well, what about milk? Milk is dependent on grass. And therefore, is there something superior? No, you don't extend the analogy. We're not talking analogies. See, this is what Mayavadis do. Right? Mayavadis extend analogies. We have examples for philosophy. We don't derive philosophy from examples. There's a very, very important difference there. That when our acharyas quote analogies, the analogy stops with where they stop it. Otherwise you can go on talking. You can bring the milkman, you can bring the cow, you can bring the species of cows. Where does it end? So, Mayavadis do that. Mayavadis take an, and we are going to talk about that because it's very much in relation to Lord Shiva that these things come. So, what is Lord Shiva then? How is he explained as yogurt? How is he explained? That yogurt, by the addition of an acidic element in milk, that acid is present in yogurt in itself. Therefore, when you add some yogurt into milk, automatically through bacterial action, it transforms into yogurt. You can even make yogurt from chili stems. Right? You break chili stems, you don't have yogurt. You put chili stems, it will turn into yogurt because there is an acid element in the stem of a chili. And that transforms that milk into yogurt. So, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is explaining that Shambhu is not a second godhead. Shiva is not second godhead. He's not equal to Vishnu. Right? What is that? One who considers demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma as equal or independent. I'm trying to remember the Sanskrit. Anyways, now I'm not able to recollect it. But the point is that anybody who considers Shiva or Brahma or any of the demigods equal to Vishnu is committing a great offense. So, that's the first point that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur makes. The second point that Bhaktisiddhanta makes is he said that Shambhu is subservient. He is subservient because why? Ekale Ishvara Krishna are a sababhritya. Right? There are, everybody is. Any reason? It's getting cold. Oh, Prabhu, you want it? Getting cold. Okay, fine. That's fine. Yeah, I'm just curious. So Ekale Ishvara Krishna. Krishna is Supreme Personality of God. Therefore, the verse always Govindam Adi Purusham Tamam Bhajami Govindam. And then the first verse says Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karana. That he is the source of everything. Okay, so therefore, if there is a personality who is different from Krishna, he has to be subservient. Only direct expansions of Krishna need not be subservient to him. They are not explained as subservient, although that is the mood. For instance, Balaram is there. Balaram is Supreme Personality of God. We accept him as Sakshat Supreme Personality of God. There is no difference. But still the mood of Balaram is that he is servant of Krishna. But his position is not like the living entities, is not like the demigods, like that he is fully Krishna. Similarly, Narayana is fully Supreme Personality of God, but it's just different mood, that's all. See, how to understand that? When we people, conditioned living entities, we have different moods. In the house we have one mood, in the office we have one mood, when we are angry we are in one mood, right? But we stay in the same body. But still, sometimes people perceive us as being different. Or sometimes people perceive us as being very changed. Completely changed. He's a completely different person. He's the same person, but completely different person. Because when mood changes, people feel that personality has changed. You see, Krishna's opulence is such that when his mood changes, he doesn't have to be stuck in the same body. He gets a body that manifests that mood in full, complete opulence. When he is angry, he manifests the form of Narasimha, where you cannot exhibit anger better than Lord Narasimha. Even Shiva becomes scared of Lord Narasimha's anger that he is not approaching. No demigods are approaching. When Narasimha is after he kills Hiranyakashipu, even Lakshmi Devi is not able to identify her Lord. He is so angry. Because Supreme Lord, when he manifests the mood, he takes another incarnation. This is Krishna. But he is still same person, right? Just like when we manifest different moods, we are still same person. So Krishna, when he manifests different moods, he accepts different incarnations, but he is same person. Now demigods are different. They have different personality altogether. It's not just a different mood, it's a different position. It's an expansion. Just like the Son is said to be an expansion of the Father. And in that way, the Son may contain a lot of similarities with the Father. He may be very similar. In fact, Son is described as representative of the Father also. And in many ways, he said, you're just like your Father. You're exactly like your Father. But he's not the Father. He's like. But there is a difference. What is the difference? That the difference is there are two different personalities. There is some change in the personality itself. It's a different person. Right? So similarly, Lord Shiva manifests as a different person to Lord Vishnu. And what is that manifestation? When Vishnu, Krishna, Prabhupada and Bhakti Siddhanta writes here, that this personality has no independent initiative. So Lord Shiva doesn't have independent initiative because he is sourced from Krishna. And Krishna is Supreme Personality of God. And he is the only true independent personality. We all can seem like we are independent. And if we are all look like we are independent, what to speak of demigods? They have more independence than us. What to speak of Lord Shiva? He is higher than all the jivas. He has so much independence, but he is not fully independent. So when it is said that he has no independent initiative, we are referring to full independence. Only Krishna is fully independent. Swatantra Ishvara. Swatantra. He can do any, the word, to use a colloquial English word, he can do any damn thing he wants to do. That's Krishna. He can do anything. Devotees accept this. Non-devotees can't accept this. Right? No, Shiva can't do that. He's not that independent. So, what is this adulterating principle? Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur writes that said adulterating principle is constituted of a combination of the stupefying quality of the deluding energy, the quality of non-plentitude, the quality of non-plentitude of the marginal potency, and a slight degree of the ecstatic cognitive principle of the plenary spiritual potency. It can sound all very complicated, everything. Bhaktisiddhanta's Saraswati Thakur's language in Brahma Samhita. You see, but actually, once you start to understand what Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, you're amazed that he's such a perfect choice of words. It's complicated, and the beauty is, our Srila Prabhupada explains all those things in this without any compromise. He also uses perfect words, but still his words are easier to understand. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's language is difficult to understand. How both of them explain the same thing using perfect words, but yet one is more complicated, one is more easier to understand, is inconceivable. It's an aspect of their opulence. This is a quality of Bhaktisiddhanta, this is a quality of Srila Prabhupada. As you know, Bhakti Vikas Maharaj says, but you know, Srila Prabhupada's his purports, his method is more like he spoon feeds you. It's like spoon feeding. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, I'm up here. Come up here. Come up, come up, come up. Srila Prabhupada, he would go down and pull us up. They're doing the same thing. Right? So, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, it's a combination of the stupefying quality of the deluding energy. What is the stupefying quality? Deluding energy. What is the deluding energy? Maya. Maya deludes us. Maya, Maya grasta jiva moha. So the living entity, when he becomes captured by Maya, he becomes moha, he becomes deluded, bewildered. So that quality, adding that quality, the stupefying, the deluding energy, what does it do? It makes you stupid. Stupefying. It also makes you stunned. It makes you bewildered. Like, when we see something, like when a man sees a very attractive woman, he becomes stunned. These are the arrows of Cupid. There are different arrows. One of those arrows, stambha, stambena. Because you become just stunned. And it's like you're just caught there. And this can happen to us in many different ways. Sometimes, we are practicing Krishna consciousness, this, that, and everything is going fine. And suddenly we see something that reminds us of something that we have done in the past. Reminds us of our past. And we are stunned over there. We are thinking of our parents, or we are thinking of our past. It might just be the fragrance of a food item that our mother made for us. That's enough. And a smell comes and you're there. And you get this whole flashback. In movies, in Bollywood was a famous flashback scene. And so that flashback, and then it comes. So you get that flashback. And when that flashback happens, you don't even see what's going on in front of you. In movies, they show that very nicely. Then somebody comes and shows in front of your eyes. And all that kind of, So, but this is that stupefying nature. That stupefying nature comes in many ways. It comes in many ways, and you get and that pulling of the heart is felt. Oh, where am I? What am I doing? What has happened to me? It's like, and the stupefying nature, because that which is temporary, that which we have no relationship with. We have no relationship with any of these things. We have no relationship. Say we liked whatever our mother made with nice poha. We have no relationship with that poha. That poha, that mother, that matter, the living entity has no relationship. But the living entity is feeling that he has that connection. He's thinking, oh, I am so and so person. And that stupefying nature makes the living entity think, that aham mameti bhav, it comes. Where he thinks, I am so and so. I am Indian, I am American, I am this, I am from this place, I am so and so, this is who I am. None of that, none of those characteristics belong to the Jiva. Absolutely none. But that stupefying nature makes him stupid. He talks all kinds of nonsense. And that is the deluding energy, that stupefying quality of the deluding energy called Maya. It's very, 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 very dangerous. So, that plus the quality of non-plentitude of the marginal potency. So the marginal potency is what? What is the marginal potency? Jivas. We are the marginal potency. And what is the difference between us? See, we are spiritual, right? We are spiritual living entities. In that sense, we are of the same quality as Krishna. We are not dull matter. We are conscious. So the marginal potency is conscious, but what about matter? Is matter conscious? Actually, Prabhupada says matter is conscious. There is a conversation where actually energies, they are all energies of Krishna, but the consciousness is so low that it's almost basically non-conscious. Matter does not have any independence, zero independence. We have some independence. We have minute independence. This is the difference between us and matter, because matter as a whole is conscious and therefore acts according to the will of Krishna, because it's one of the energies of Krishna, represented by Durga Devi. And because of that, because they are all energies of Krishna, Krishna being Swatantra Ishvara can convert marginal into matter, matter into spiritual, spiritual into marginal. He can do anything. He can do it. Because if you say he cannot, then automatically he is not God. God means he can do anything. That's what it literally means. He can literally do any damn thing he wants. That means he can even change matter into spirit, spirit into matter. And this is what happens when one worships the deity. It is matter. How has matter suddenly become Krishna? Because Krishna can change matter into and he makes that matter not different to himself. And he becomes that deity form of Krishna is Krishna himself, although it is like marble. Non-devotees cannot understand this. They think matter is only matter. Matter will always remain matter. That is not true. That's how prasadam becomes prasadam. Every day we are honoring prasadam. Every day Krishna is making the miracle of changing that prasadam into spiritual. It may look matter, but it is not matter. Swaprasadam ne dilobai. He has given his mercy, and his mercy is not different to him. Therefore, it's called Anna Brahma. And this, especially in Jagannath Puri, Prasad is Jagannath himself. So, the marginal potency, the quality of a marginal potency is non-plentitude. What is non-plentitude? Simple. It means non-infinite. Alright? Plentitude means plenty. Plentitude means infinite. And Krishna is infinite. Spiritual nature is infinite. But we are finite. We are spiritual, but we are finite. We are not infinite. Our independence especially is finite. And that non-plentitude of marginal potency is also present in Lord Shiva. Okay? Then he has a third thing. And a slight degree of the ecstatic cognitive principle of the spiritual, of the plenary spiritual potency. Ecstatic cognitive. What is cognitive? Cognitive means the ability to know past, present and future. This is cognition from Supreme Personality of Godhead. Our cognition is, we may understand something in this room, we understand something in this body. Actually, we don't even understand what's going on in our body. I am talking right now. Do I exactly understand how exactly that is happening? Which part of my, vocal cords are vibrating? How those? No. I don't have complete control. I have some idea. But most of the things I am doing inadvertently. I don't realize how I am doing this. I am raising this hand. I don't understand how I am raising it. If at some point of time, this hand becomes paralyzed, I cannot raise it. And that's when you realize that I'm not able to raise this. And it's a very shocking thing. Like sometimes you get, what do they call that in English? You get, when you sit for too long and you're not able to get up and walk. And
falls asleep.
Yeah, falls asleep. That's the phrase. What do you say in India?
Numb.
Numb is not the exact word. It kind of becomes numb, but then it starts this tickling feeling. Huh? What do you say in Hindi? Huh?
Ants.
Ants. Oh, I never heard that. Okay. You see. So anyway, they say in America, my leg has fallen asleep. You can't move it. You're kind of like limping around. And it's like tickling all up and down your leg, and like that. It's a very funny feeling. And you're laughing about it, and it's kind of embarrassing or whatever. So the ecstatic and cognitive principle. So Lord Shiva exhibits a spiritual potency that is similar to Lord Vishnu, in the sense that he understands past, present, and future. And to that extent, he also acts like the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Lord Shiva has these specific three things that are mixed with him. So Supreme Personality of Godhead, when he separates and mixes with these, when he has these three qualities, he is Shiva. And he is different because he is mixed. What it is said is that Krishna never comes in touch with Maya. He has nothing to do with Maya. But when Krishna comes in touch with Maya, it is Lord Shiva. But because Krishna never comes in touch with Maya, it's not Krishna. But ultimately everything comes from Krishna. So so it's said here that Govinda manifests himself as a Gunavatar in the form of Shambhu, who is the separated portion of Govinda, imbued with the principle of his subjective plenary portion. So, he is imbued with Gunavatar in the sense, which Guna does Lord Shiva represent? Tamoguna, right? Mode of ignorance. So Shiva has to manifest that mode of ignorance. And because he manifests that mode of ignorance, he is adulterated. Because Krishna never manifests ignorance. Even when Krishna may act as if he is, for instance, Krishna is scared that Mother Yashoda is chastising him. And he is crying, he is scared. It is not that he is ignorant of his position. He is not truly ignorant. He is not affected by Maya. It is Krishna who is inconceivably, voluntarily given himself to his devotee, plays the role of being a loving son to his devotee, and he plays that role so perfectly that it seems as if he has actually forgotten. And Krishna truly at that point of time has forgotten. But it is not because of Maya. Meaning that Krishna forgetting is happening by his own independent free will, and when he wants to remember that he is Supreme Personality of Godhead, immediately he remembers again by his own same free will. Whereas, when Lord Shambhu, Shiva, exhibits ignorance, that is not always necessarily under his control. He can be influenced by Lord Vishnu. How? The example is the Mohini incarnation. In the Mohini avatar, when Mohini came, after the Mohini incarnation happened, Lord Shiva approached Krishna. This is there in the Bhagavatam. It says, I want to see this aspect of yours by which you deluded all these demons. I want to see this incarnation. And Krishna says, well, this is not a very desirable thing. You have to be careful what you are desiring, because demons got bewildered. Lord Shiva says, no, I still want to see you because it's your form. Then, when Krishna actually manifests himself as Mohini, Shiva becomes so attracted to Mohini Then even though Parvati is right next to him, his wife is right next to him, he starts running after Moni. He starts running after her. And the Bhagavatam describes how Lord Shiva eventually loses semen. Now, at the same time, Lord Shiva, Krishna is not trying to embarrass Lord Shiva. Ultimately, Lord Shiva got attracted to Krishna because that was a form of Krishna. But still, the point is that Lord Shiva was uncontrollably attracted by Krishna's will. That Krishna's will is greater than Lord Shiva's. And this point has to be understood very carefully. That Lord Shiva, it says that this adulterated reflection of the principle is Sadashi in the form of the effulgent masculine symbol god Shambhu, from whom Rudradev is manifested. You see, Lord Shiva's work is only in the material world. It's only in the material world. Lord Shiva has his work in the material world. Why? Because he is the effulgent masculine symbol god. That's the linga. The linga is a masculine symbol. You understand what I'm saying? Linga represents the male reproductive organ. This is linga. And Parvati, you will see, there are different places, there are Shakti peaks. And the female reproductive organ of Durga Devi is worshipped. You will not find reproductive organ of Lakshmi Devi being worshipped or Vishnu being worshipped. They have nothing to do with the material creation. They have absolutely nothing to do. Only Durga and Shiva have everything to do with this material creation. There is a reason behind all of this. And the linga is a sign that Lord Shiva is the cause of this material universe, or that the union of Lord Shiva and Parvati, Durga Devi, is the cause of this material universe, which is lust. Lust, the desire to enjoy separately from Krishna, is the reason why this material universe exists. And that principle of lust is the greatest enemy of the living entity, which the living entity has to overcome if he has to go to the spiritual world. Shiva represents this, Shiva and Durga represent this. And because their activities are within the purview of the material world, it is secondary to Krishna. Because the material world in itself is not a place that gives pleasure to Krishna. It is not the most pleasurable thing for him. See, devotees may glorify Krishna. That you are, you have created this entire universe, you are the source of all this. That is true. And we should glorify Krishna like this because we have to understand that he is the source of everything. Yet, Krishna himself likes glorification of his pastimes with his devotees. That is more pleasurable to Krishna. Because Krishna is performing the creation, maintenance and destruction of this universe for the sake of the jivas, not for his sake. What does he want to do? He wants to play with his cowherd boyfriends. He wants to dance with the gopis. He wants to steal butter and give a hard time to all the elderly gopis. He wants to pull the tail of all the cows. Krishna wants to relate with his devotees. Just like we, a person may have his work, but ideally, if he is not a workaholic, he is working for the sake of his family. Ultimately, what he does at home and how he behaves with his children and his wife, that's more important and matters more to him. He may do the other activities, and you can say, you're such an expert manager and this and that, and that's all fine. But that aspect of him is not the aspect that he cherishes the most. He cherishes more being a doting father to his children, or being, whatever. If he likes to play in a certain way, if he likes to do a certain thing, he likes that. He likes to be with his friends. He likes that more. He doesn't like to be referred to so much with his official role, because his official role has a place. Krishna's creation of this material world is like that. It is a glorious aspect of him, and it is an aspect that we must understand and we must worship, we must glorify. But we also have to understand that this is not all about him. Because those who don't understand who Krishna is, who his personality, what his real activities are, they can only understand God in reference to the material world. God in reference to the material world is some understanding of God, but it is not a perfect understanding of God. And what to then speak of Lord Shiva, whose role is only within the material world? How can he be equal to Krishna? It is not possible. So therefore he is subservient to Krishna's role. It's an important point to understand where Lord Shiva's position is and how he has to be worshipped. And the reason I am saying this is, and see, other things that Lord Shiva does. For instance, what is it? He teaches pious duties, dharma, as a stepping stone to attainment of spiritual service in the Tantra Shastra. So Shiva teaches in the Tantra Shastras, he teaches all these kind of different dharmic things that people do, and people are very attached to these things. Other than that, he also teaches Mayavad and the speculative Agama Shastras. What are the speculative Agama Shastras? Anybody has idea? Agama. Yes.
Supporting to Shankaracharya's.
Yeah, Shankaracharya used the Agama Shastras, but Agamas are worship rituals that are followed in the worship of demigods like Lord Shiva. Sometimes they apply it to Vishnu also. But primarily it is used in the worship of Durga, Shiva, Subramanya, Kartikeya, Ganesha, all these. For instance, you might have seen with Durga Devi, I don't know if they do it here, but in South India, they put burning coal in front of a temple of Durga. And people perform a sort of a penance. In order to fulfill their material desires, if they are making a prayer, they walk over that burning coal. They literally walk over it. Well, most of them, they run. But even then, you're walking over burning coal, red coal that's burning. And then they pierce themselves, they offer many animals in sacrifice. Many of these rituals and the worship style, you will not see in Shiva temples. They do all these kind of elaborate offerings like we do. We have all these different aartis and you cook all these different plates and offer to Vishnu. No, their offering is very different. They open and close at different times. It's a very different style of worship, the way they do it. And these Agama Shastras are actually speculative. They are not, what we follow is Pancharatrika. We follow Pancharatrika. That is the method of worship. The Pancharatra is a real text that is propounded by, in this case, Narada Muni. And some Vaishnava Acharyas have mixed some of the Agama rules with Pancharatra, and then you have Pancharatra Agama, which the Sri Vaishnavas follow. They have taken which is genuine. But the point is, ours is based on Pancharatra. And what is Pancharatra? Pancharatra is Narayana instructing Lakshmi Devi for 5 nights, Pancharatra, on how to worship him. So this is Pancharatra. And then different people have taken that, and Acharyas like, Narada Muni has spoken these Pancharatras. So this Agama Shastras are speculative. And they make a feeling of worship, but actually they are influenced heavily by the mode of ignorance and driven heavily by fulfillment of material desires. And generally they also tend to be a bit ghastly. Some are pleasant, there are pleasant aspects of Agama, but it can lead into being very ghastly forms of worship. Which is why in Srimad Bhagavatam, at the end of the second chapter of the first canto, it is said, Mumukshubir Ghora Rupan, Hitva Bhutapatim Yata, Narayana Kalashanta, Bhajante Anusuyavaha. That the devotees of Lord Vishnu, they reject all these ghastly forms of worship. Bhutapatim, of all the lords of this world. Because there are yakshas, there are gandharvas, there are other kinds of spirits that people worship, and all of them tend to generally be servants of Lord Shiva. You will find that even in South India, you go, you will see different, sometimes temples that like, when we went to South India, we went to some interior towns and villages where we did some programs. There, and I was asking, the devotees said, what are some of the problems? One of them said, family is very attached to worshipping Karupasami. So Karupasami is a local, god that many Tamil people worship. He's probably some yaksha, something like this. Who knows? Or it could just be completely made up. Many devotees are worshipping Lord Shiva. I have seen not just on Shivaratri. They actually keep him on their altar. Lord Shiva is the greatest Vaishnava. Vaishnavana Meta Shambhu. Where is it said? Bhagavatam, 12th canto. Right? What is the verse? Nimnagana Meta Ganga, Devanam Achyuto Yata, Vaishnavanam Yata Shambhu, Puranam Idam Tata. Kshetranam Saivat Sarvesham, Yata Kashi Syanutama, Tata Purana Vratanam, Srimad Bhagavatam Vijaha. Just as Ganga is the greatest of all rivers, Lord Achyuta is the supreme among deities, and Lord Shambhu is the greatest of the Vaishnavas, so Srimad Bhagavatam is the greatest of all Puranas. The next verse is a similar mood. O Brahmanas, in the same way that the city of Kashi is unexcelled among holy places, Srimad Bhagavatam is the supreme among all Puranas. Which is the most holy place? Which is the most holy place? Huh? Vrindavan. Okay, Radha. No, which is the most holy place? Vrindavan. Okay. But here Bhagavatam says Kashi. What is it? Is it Vrindavan or is it Kashi?
Vrindavan is considered in Dham basically. Lord's abode basically. Among holy place is Kashi.
Among Kshetrana. Kshetra refers to holy place. So among Kshetras, Kashi is said to be supreme. But the point is, Lord Shiva is said to be the supreme among Vaishnavas in a particular context. It is a context. What does that mean? It means Yashoda Devi is greater than Lord Shiva. It's not that Yashoda Devi, is she a Vaishnavi? She is Vaishnavi. Is Shiva greater than Yashoda? Why are you saying no? Why are you saying no? We should understand this. Are the gopis greater than Lord Shiva? No. They are?
Yeah.
Gopis are greater than Lord Shiva. Why? How? How can you understand this?
Lord Shiva was not allowed to enter into the...
That Lord Shiva, for whom his servants punched all the teeth of Brihaspati, whose teeth all got punched out by Nandishwara, because he showed his teeth when Daksha was insulting Sati. I forgot. I really got mixed up. Anyways, Daksha's head was cut off. Right? For whose head they were so powerful that just an offense to Lord Shiva, they cut off Daksha. Said, who's Daksha? Daksha is the son of Lord Brahma himself. Son of Lord Brahma. They cut his head off. and Yashoda Devi is refusing Lord Shiva entry. We have to understand these things in context. Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu, yes. Among all the living entities in this world, Shiva is greater than everybody else, including Lord Brahma, and he is the greatest Vaishnava. But it is not that he is the greatest Vaishnava in every sense of the term. And this is important to understand because it is being taken too far in our devotional community. Our acharyas, Panchatattva, they are eternal associates of Lord Krishna. They are engaged in Krishna's eternal service in the spiritual world. They are above the material world. They are actually on a platform, right, that is higher than Lord Shiva himself. They will not say that they are higher than Lord Shiva, but that is their position. What are their duties? Their duties are not confined to the material world. Their duties are in the spirit. Therefore, the demigods worship personalities like them. Otherwise, why do they worship? Why do they worship? It is very important to understand this. And Srila Prabhupada writes in the 34th, in the Shivaratri observance, when it is, Nanda Maharaj observed Shivaratri. Have you heard that? Have you heard this? Nanda Maharaj observing Shivaratri?
Huh.
Yes, you should. You didn't read Krishna book, you should read.
Once upon a time.
Because,
Once upon a time. Sentence was like
so
that.
exactly.
Shankachud was the demon.
No, Shankachuda is after that. This is Vidyadhara, a snake who came and caught hold of Ananda Maharaj's feet. And then Krishna places his leg on the snake's, and then the snake becomes liberated as Vidyadhara and goes back like that. So, devotees say, well, Nanda Maharaj observed. But Prabhupada is saying very clearly here that once upon a time, the cowherd men of Vrindavan, headed by Nanda Maharaj, decided to go to Ambikavan to observe the Shivaratri ceremony. How am I doing on time? Because this is a little bigger subject matter, unfortunately. Anybody else go work? I should stop.
Today is Saturday, so we can.
Okay, so we can talk. All right. So Prabhupada writes here that sometimes between the Dola Yatra ceremony and Rasa Leela ceremony, there is an important ceremony called Shiva by the Shaivites or devotees of Lord Shiva. Sometimes the Vaishnavas also observe the ceremony because they accept Lord Shiva as the foremost Vaishnava. But the function of Shivaratri is not observed very regularly by the bhaktas or devotees of Krishna. That means Prabhupada is making very clear here, the function of Shivaratri is not observed very regularly by bhaktas or devotees of Krishna. How do you regularly observe Shivaratri? How is Shivaratri regularly observed?
By waking up.
No, not the procedure.
It comes every month, mainly Shaivites.
No, that every month is different. But here Prabhupada is referring to Mahashivaratri. Because when we say Shivaratri, we are referring to Mahashivaratri. Yes, I know Pradosha is there every month and Shiva worshippers worship that as Shivaratri. But when we are talking of Mahashivaratri, and Prabhupada is specific because he says it before, between the Dola Yatra ceremony and Rasa Leela ceremony, there is an important ceremony called Shivaratri. He is not referring to the monthly thing, he is referring to the once a year. So, if Shivaratri, this once a year Shivaratri is regularly observed, what does that mean? It's observed every year. Correct? If you observe Mahashivaratri every year, it means you are regularly observing. And if Prabhupada is saying Vaishnavas do not regularly observe, it means they don't do it every year. That's what it means. What else can it mean? It doesn't mean that you are worshipping Shiva every day. Prabhupada is very clear. And then it's not that you can say, no, I don't worship that. Just on Shivaratri. That's exactly what Prabhupada is talking about. What does it mean that Shivaratri is observed occasionally by Vaishnavas? So, two ways in which this can be understood. One is just like Nanda Maharaj. They wanted to have darshan of Lord Shiva. Sometimes when you want to go have darshan of a particular demigod, you may choose a particular festival of that demigod and you may go there because that day that demigod is glorified. So Nanda Maharaj goes. They didn't regularly observe. Second thing to understand, we worship certain personalities regularly. What are those personalities? For instance, we worship Srila Prabhupada every day. Regularly we worship. Why? Guru Puja. Guru Puja Kirtan we do. Every day we worship Prabhupada. Every temple there is Aarti going on to Prabhupada. Every single day. That is called regular worship. We also do other kinds of regular worship. We observe Janmashtami every year. We observe Gaura Purnima every year. We observe Ramanavami every year. We fast. If devotees, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, he sings, he says that, oh Krishna, I'm having it so bad right now. Basically, he prays in the song that, this is a famous one, famous bhajan, where he prays that, please give me the ability to respect different individuals according to their position, level of advancement. Right? Similarly, one has to show different levels of respect to different personalities. See, Guru is Vaishnava, God brother is also Vaishnava. Should there be a little difference? You cannot worship your God brother the same way you worship your Guru. Although, one should treat senior God brothers as representatives of the Guru, still there should be some difference. That is called proper Maryada. Right? Difference has to be there. Even in cultured families. Elder brother, the oldest son in the family, is practically worshipped like the father. Yet the father gets a special respect that the elder son will not get. That must be there. In the Rajasuya sacrifice, this is why Yudhishthira Maharaj wanted to conduct the Rajasuya yajna. Because he wanted to show that the first worship must go to Krishna. Even though he is younger, Bhishma is there, Drona is there, different personalities, great personality. Vyasa is there, everybody is there. Krishna, he gets the worship. That difference in worship is required and is done. And to take a Shivalinga and put it on the altar where our acharyas are there, or demigods, and put them on top of our acharyas. Nobody ever does this. Never have our acharyas have ever allowed anything like this. In Mayapur, we have Jagannath deities in Rajapur. Now those Rajapur deities were inherited by ISKCON. They were not established by ISKCON. Right? They were there before, a long time ago. And they are mentioned in the Navadvip Mahatmya and all this. And the temple was handed over to our devotees who have taken up the worship. Before Rajapur Jagannath came there was already a temple of Lord Shiva. And that temple is there. And therefore it is a duty, because we are not, our sampradaya is not completely disrespectful of the demigods. Forget disrespectful, none of the Vaishnava sampradayas are directly disrespectful, but our mood is that we follow Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, where he respects the different demigods, but we offer different levels of respect. When Lord Chaitanya traveled across South India and he visited different Shiva Kshetras, he would make it a point to go and visit the temple and offer his obeisances. And when you offer obeisances to Lord Shiva, you can chant this Brahma Samhita verse, and you can remember how Lord Shiva is a separated portion of Govinda. But so there's in Sri Vaishnavas, they have a different mood. So it's a different mood. The Sri Vaishnavas are in the mood of Lakshmi Devi, which is Aishwarya Bhav in Vaikunta. And a wife, she will not respect. She will not show respect to any other masters except her husband. She's not supposed to do that. There's a story of Ramanujacharya. Where he's on so there's a procession of Ranganath going on, and Ramanujacharya and his disciples are chanting mantras and prayers in the procession. And it starts to rain suddenly, unexpectedly. Now they are near a temple of Lord Shiva there, famous temple, called, I think it's Jambulinga or Jalakandeshwara, someone is a deity of Lord Shiva temple, and they are crossing that. Now, rain has come, the deity should not become wet, otherwise all the decorations, everything will get spoiled. So they have to seek some shelter. So what do? They take the deity of Ranganath inside the temple of Lord Shiva and keep him under the mandap. But Ramanuja and all his disciples are standing outside the Shiva temple and they are getting drenched. So they are asked, your Lord, your Master, Ranganath himself has gone inside Shiva temple. Why don't you enter? Your servant, you should follow your Master. Ramanuja's reply, in the mood of Sri Vaishnava, Sri Sampradaya, Lakshmi Sampradaya, he says, the Master can go to the house of anyone he desires, but the wife cannot do that. Such a nice mood. Such a nice mood. Master is Prabhu, what can I do? If he wants to go to somebody's house, what can I do? I will not. Rama can go to the house of Ravana. Sita will not go. But Rama can go, and if he goes, there is no fault. But Sita's mood is, I am ready to go to this person's house. So that is their mood. It's not that, of course, let me make this very clear. I am not comparing Shiva to Ravana. I just put that point there, just in case somebody's house, how dare you compare? No, that's not the point. The point is the relationship between husband and wife. What a husband can do, what a wife cannot do. That mood. It's a mood of chastity. So, that is the Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya's mood. And it comes in the Vaikuntha. Now we are chaste, but our mood is that of Vrindavan. The Vrindavan mood is different. It is chaste to Krishna, but for Krishna's pleasure, devotees in Vrindavan may apparently chastise Krishna, they may yell at Krishna, they will give Krishna trouble. They don't always just worship him as a servant. That gives pleasure to Krishna. It's a very, very, very esoteric platform. Krishna wants to see Radharani. Radharani and her servants are banning Krishna. They say, go away. We don't want to see you. Just get lost. Very inconceivable. We cannot imitate these things. So, the point is that there are different levels of respect that is offered. And in Rajapur, the deity of Lord Shiva has been there. The temple of it is the duty of us, because that worship has been going on. That worship has to be continued. And there Shivaratri has to be observed every year. Because it is the tradition. In Shiva temple, you have to have Shivaratri. But not that you go and establish a Shiva temple. Why will you establish a new temple of Lord Shiva? We don't disrespect tradition, but you bring it into a temple. Prabhupada never started these things and you are starting these things. What is your conception? What are you doing? This is not according to Prabhupada's mood. You don't see any of our Vaishnava acharyas doing this. Some places our acharyas will see that there was a temple, there's a particular pastime of Lord Shiva here, there was a particular significance, and they may have some Shivalinga or temple of Lord Shiva established there as glorification of Lord Shiva in his role in Krishna's pastimes. But you will not bring this anywhere and everywhere. Forget about your house. Or you will not bring it into our ISKCON temples and do this kind of thing. It's very, very sad. I've seen so many temples. New Orleans temple has Lord Shiva. So many temples have. What has Shiva got to do with New Orleans? Anything he's got to do with New Orleans? Just nonsense. I said, no, we are praying to Lord Shiva for pure bhakti. Why you can't pray to Prabhupada? Sarvadeva Mayo Guru. Guru is said to be the representative of all demigods. You can't pray to Prabhupada. Without Prabhupada, you wouldn't have even known anything about pure devotional service. When you go to a Shiva Kshetra or something, there you can pray. If you happen to come by Lord Shiva, then it's okay. Or you are on yatra and there is a particular Shiva temple you want to go and see it, that's fine, and there you can pray. You can pray to Lord Shiva for pure devotional service. Nobody is saying that. But there is a difference. You don't act as if there is nobody to pray for you for pure devotional service. You bring Lord Shiva. When Prabhupada is there, 6 Goswamis are there, all our Acharyas are there. You won't pray to them. You won't pray to Nityananda Prabhu. You won't pray to Advaita Acharya. Doya Guru Sitapati, Advaita Acharya, Tava Kripa Balai Chaitanya Nitai. Chaitanya Nitai are obtained by the mercy of Lord of Advaita Acharya. You won't pray to Advaita Acharya. You will bring Lord Shiva. And if you know that Advaita Acharya is not different from Lord Shiva, why don't you worship Advaita Acharya? Why are you worshipping Lord Shiva? Because you have demigod contamination, you have not understood pure devotional service, and you are doing this, and to do this, and it's so sad. It is offensive. Ultimately, what is happening? The creeper of devotional service is choked by attachment to worship of demigods. And these anarthas creep in even amongst people who have no history of worshipping demigods. I am seeing it among Westerners. I am shocked. Western people did not know anything about demigod worship. They don't know demigods, they don't know Krishna, nothing. They are introducing and bringing these things. From this you can understand that these anarthas exist since time immemorial in the heart of a conditioned living entity. It doesn't matter whether he is American or Indian or whatever. For Indians it is more manifest. For Americans it is not manifest, but when they progress to a certain point, these anarthas start, when the conditions are right, they start to fructify. The weeds fructify. I saw what, Gurukuli, as they call them in the United States. Full, arrangement for worship of Lord Shiva. And I'm thinking, you are a Western fellow. You are born from American parents. Where did you get this? Because the anartha is there. And it is demigod worship. It is not, you can mask it and you can say all demigod. And actually the truth is, and that's the other thing. Ganesha, yes, but Ganesha is a living entity. Ganesha is a living entity like you and me. And he has been given the position of performing a particular task in the material world. And yes, Prabhupada does write in this Nectar of Devotion, Rupa Goswami writes that one can worship Ganesh to remove obstacles. But when Prabhupada was personally asked about this, he said no. When Prabhupada was asked how to remove obstacles, he worshiped Nrsimha. Because Nrsimha is the source of Yad Pada Vallava Yugam Vinidaya Kumbha Dvandve Pranama Samaye Saganadi Raja Vignan Vihantum Alamasya Jagatra Yasya Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. He gets his potency from Narasimha. And you will see historically in Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya that worship of Narasimha is there to remove obstacles. Om Namo Bhagavate Narasimhaya Namaste Jastete Avir Avir Bhava Vajranaka Vajra Dumpster Karma Ashayan Randhaya destroy my Kama Asha, like desires, Kama Ashayan Randhaya Tamo Grasa chase away this Tamogun, ignorance, Tamo Grasa Om Swaha Abhayam, give me protection, Atmani Bhuishta, benedict me with this. Om Ksham. So, we don't. We pray to Narasimha. We bow our heads down to Ganesh. He's great personality. He's far greater than us. What are we? We're insignificant personalities. Vaishnavas have to respect or worship all living entities. We respect all living entities. Why will we not respect demigods? But doesn't mean I go and do puja to the neighbor. Prabhuji, come, I'll do Guru Puja to you. No, puja is referred. Our regular puja is reserved for personalities who have saved us. Bottom line truth is we were saved by Prabhupada, not by demigods. Demigods will not save. See, understand the quality of difference between the Vaishnavas that the demigods are and the Vaishnavas that our Acharyas are. You can worship demigods unless you specifically want Krishna. Or even if it is not that they directly give it. And definitely, for people who don't want anything, they don't go out of their way. How many demigods are doing book distribution? None. Our acharyas are doing it. They are coming us and pulling us from the depth of darkness. We are rotting, we don't even know what we want, what we need in our life. And Prabhupada sends his representative, what are you doing with your life? You're living like an animal. Which demigod has told us that we are living like an animal? Our acharyas are so much more compassionate. And that is the quality of Vaishnava that they are. Now the demigods may have that quality, but they don't exhibit it. And for us at least, what matters? The Vaishnavas who exhibit that, that's what matters. Lord Shiva comes in the form of Advaita Acharya and he exhibits that. Therefore we worship Advaita Acharya. We don't worship Lord Shiva. Because in that form he didn't give us his mercy. We may occasionally go, we respect him, we worship him, we know his pastimes with Krishna. But we should not conflate. We should not mix this worship. Why devotees are not able to understand this simple thing? It's a very simple thing. Prabhuji, even among our gurus, our worship is primarily to our Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada. Not even to Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Bhakti Siddhanta. We are not meant to. We cannot just suddenly read Bhakti Vinod Thakur's works. We cannot just go and read Rupa Goswami's works. They are acharyas, they are pure devotees, they are Vaishnavas. But no, it is disrespectful to jump over the head of your current acharya and go to the predecessor acharyas. It is disrespectful. Even amongst our acharyas, there is difference of respect. How can we worship Lord Shiva like this regularly? How can we put him on the altar where our acharyas are sitting? Once Srila Prabhupada, this is there, this was said by Bhakti Vikas Maharaj in his quotes. A devotee was chanting Hare Krishna in front of a picture, a disciple was chanting Hare Krishna in front of a picture of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And Srila Prabhupada didn't like it. Tamal Krishna. I remember one time, Kartikeya Maharaj was chanting to a picture of Bhakti Siddhanta. You chastised him and said, what is your connection with Bhakti Siddhanta? Your connection is with me. What is your connection with Bhakti Siddhanta? Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Prabhupada, who said? Tamal Krishna, you did. Sudama, you did. I remember. Tamal Krishna, when Kartikeya Maharaj was chanting to your Guru Maharaj's picture, you said, how can you connect with him? Your connection was with me. Meaning we have to approach even the predecessor acharyas through the medium of our acharyas. Without a living connection, we cannot even directly approach Prabhupada. That's the mistake the Ritviks do. They don't have understanding. They cannot understand Prabhupada's mood and vision, and they cannot do what Prabhupada wants. He will do something here and there, it will see some semblance, but it's not the real thing. You have to go to the current league. It's very sad that this kind of things are happening in the name of Shivaratri, and then you ask me, some devotee said you have to fast. What nonsense? Nonsense. Devotees are saying you have to fast on Shivaratri. Complete nonsense. What is wrong if we fast? But the fasting has been reserved for our acharyas and Krishna's incarnations. In fact, we don't even fast for Rupa Goswami's appearance. Occasionally, if somebody observes Shivaratri, it is not wrong. But it has to be occasional. And if in doubt, don't do it. Why do you have to do it? It is not compulsory. Whatever benefit you are going to derive. See, it's customary. Say if we were at a Shiva Kshetra and we were visiting a Shiva temple on Shivaratri, the big festival is going. We are there in front of Lord Shiva, we want to respect him, we may fast. But that clear distinction of respect has to be there. The Madhvas are good at this. You know, Madhvas, when they accept prasad of demigods, because Madhvas they worship. They don't worship meaning that they know Krishna is supreme. But they may even be pujaris at demigod temples. Because they say you should not close. They're historical temples, ancient temples. The worship should not stop. But when they accept prasad or something, say you get the vibhuti, the ash. What do you call that here? Vibhuti. Vibhuti of Lord Shiva. They don't apply it here on the forehead. They don't put it here. Why? Because this is the place we put our offerings from our acharyas and Krishna, we put it here. They put it in the back. They accept it, but the acceptance is different. A different acceptance. When they offer obeisances to Krishna, we offer obeisances with Krishna on our left. Acharya also we do like that. Vaishnavas we offer direct. Acharyas also be put on the left because Acharya is Sakshadhari. That respect we give. Vaishnavas we offer directly. To Acharyas also you can offer directly. Krishna also you can offer directly. But the point is we are trying to consider differences. Demigods to the right. I offer you obeisances. Different kind of obeisances. Of course, it's not that if some devotee did it on the left, it becomes sinful. Ignorance is one thing. But to understand that this is our culture and that it permeates in different ways. In Rajapur, Lord Shiva gets Mahaprasadam from Jagannath. And then it is served out. Not that separate offering is done to Lord Shiva. These things used to be done. Apparently, Jagannath Prasadam used to be sent for Shiva in Bhubaneswar, but that practice stopped in the 1930s somewhere. Like, I wanted to speak to 5 qualities that Lord Shiva is different. So, I'll just very briefly mention. Many times Lord Shiva, because he is neither Krishna, but he's not a Jiva either. He's in between. He's mixed with the quality of Shiva. He's mixed with the quality of Krishna. It's a mix, it's in between. Think of a gradation. Think of Krishna and his incarnations being all the way on the top, the Jiva being here and Shiva being in between. Matter being below living entities. Right? So, therefore, many times Lord Shiva may exhibit things and do things like Vishnu, but then he will also do things like an ordinary Jiva because he is imbued with both. And so this, has to be also understood. And the reason for that is because Lord Shiva has 5 extra qualities that living entities cannot have. Brahma has and Lord Shiva has. Living entities can develop 50 qualities, and Lord Shiva and Brahma develop 5 extra more. And then Narayana, Krishna is 5 more, and Narayana is 5 more, and Krishna is another 4 more. So, in those 5 are the difference between the living entity and Lord Shiva that makes him so close to Lord Vishnu. I'll not get into the politics. Just wanted to mention that point. Okay, any questions, any comments? Yes.
One comment and one question. You mentioned about demigods and the difference between demigods and the acharyas. So in Bhagavatam there is a verse related to this. Chayava karma sachiva sadhava dina vatsala. So I think that really what you said resonated with me. That the demigods cannot give what the sadhus give. Because sadhus are dina vatsala, the demigods are not. They are actually attendants of karma. They actually increase your karma.
Yeah. Right? They will only give you what your karma deserves.
Yeah.
And amongst them, sometimes here and there, very rarely, Lord Shiva has like benedict. Like there was the story of a Brahmana who wanted benediction from Lord Shiva. Shiva sent him to Sanatana Goswami, and actually his material desire was fulfilled. But by the mercy of Sanatana Goswami, he realized that something is different. But at least Lord Shiva sent him to a Vaishnava. But it's very rare. Very rare. You don't see people coming en masse from Shiva temples to Krishna temples. Oh, Shiva sent me, Shiva sent me, Shiva sent me. It doesn't happen.
Question. So you mentioned that we should not jump over the current acharyas, right? Now, we see that in ISKCON, a lot of people are reading Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur's books, and other acharyas' books. So is that considered to be jumping over? What do you think about that?
It depends on the person. See, nobody can say that they've completely read Prabhupada. I've already read Prabhupada, finished with Prabhupada's book. You never say I'm finished. Right? But at the same time, Srila Prabhupada did want us to read the previous Acharya's works. He wanted them published for a reason. If they have to be published, they have to be read. Right? But the point is, one should always remain loyal to Prabhupada, meaning he has to understand the works of the predecessor Acharyas in light of Srila Prabhupada's commentaries, not in contradiction to Srila Prabhupada. Gopi Paranandana Prabhu would very nicely explained this. He said that if there is a contradiction, apparent contradiction between a previous Acharya and Srila Prabhupada, one has to think, one shouldn't think, oh, Srila Prabhupada is saying something different. One should think, how is it that Srila Prabhupada is saying the same thing while it seems different? Prabhupada is saying the same thing, and my materialistic mind influenced by duality is seeing the difference. But there is no difference. You will see many times Srila Prabhupada also apparent contradictions sometimes don't have to be resolved. For instance, Srila Prabhupada, when he's describing the Varaha pastime, he'll say Jiva Goswami has his opinion, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has his opinion, and he doesn't give a conclusion. He just says this opinion, finish, and keep going on. And you're thinking, what is it? Did Varaha come in this age? Did Varaha come in that age? Which Varaha is this? Each has a different opinion, they have their different opinions. That's all. Finished. You don't have to get to the bottom of it. Because, frankly, it's not that getting to the bottom of it is life or death as far as our spiritual life goes. It's not essential. Like, we recognize, we glorify the Acharya, we keep moving on. And so, different devotees may do this differently. Some devotees always have a reading of Prabhupada's books going on, even though they might have read all of Prabhupada's books a couple of times, but they still keep going on, and they are also reading other Acharya's works. Other devotees may take some time to read some Acharya's works, but then they keep getting back to Prabhupada. The point is, are they loyal to Prabhupada? That's what's called not jumping. Okay.
Prabhu,
Yes, sir.
So, what is the difference between Sadashiva, Shiva, and Shambhu?
Oh. You see, these words, these names are interchangeably used because they are like everything in Vedic culture. You have multiple names for everything. So, now technically, Sadashiva is a form of Vishnu in the spiritual world, which is the last planet in the Vaikuntha world, and Lord Shiva is said to be an expansion of that Sadashiva. But Lord Shiva within this material world may also be referred to as Sadashiva, and he may also be referred to as Shambhu. But technically, Shambhu comes from Lord Sadashiva, and Shiva is expansion of Shambhu who appears within this material universe. And that Shiva manifests himself as Rudra, and then you have the 12 Rudras, among which several of them can be living entities also. So they are expansion of Shiva, but they are living entities. So, yeah.
Isn't like Satyavisha? It's like Satyavisha.
We don't see, it's not Shakti Avesh, but it is similar. It is not Shakti Avesh. It is that the particular aspects of Lord Shiva, and he has many aspects, those aspects, living entities become influenced by those aspects and they take on roles that Lord Shiva performs as his servants. And this Mahesh Dham is the abode of Shambhu, which is above this material world, located within the Brahma Jyoti, below the Vaikuntha planets. And true worshippers of Lord Shiva go there, and then by Lord Shiva's mercy, they may go up to the spiritual world. It's a very long process. Because there Shambhu is worshipping Narayana. They assist him in worshipping Narayana, and in this way they become devotees. They go back home.
My grandfather was my cousin grandfather. He used to tell that when they build this body, they go to Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva will initiate them to worship of Lord.
Yeah, I mean that's also what happens at Kashi, right?
Yes.
Why? Because Kashi, Lord Shiva comes in the ear of anybody who dies in Kashi and chants the name of Lord Rama. So in this way they are bestowed with devotional service by the mercy of Lord Shiva. So this is why Shiva is the greatest among Vaishnavas, because you see he is doing all these things. Other demigods don't do anything. They don't do any of these things. Why worship Ganesh? I don't understand. So it's like, you know, and I'll make another small point about Ganesh. There is a form. So in Vaikuntha, Lord Narayana is the king. The king has an army. That army is headed by one of Lord Narayana's chief servants named Vishwaksena, who is the Acharya of the Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya. Vishwaksena, Lord Ramanujacharya, is considered to be a servant of Vishwaksena. Vishwaksena is an eternal associate of Narayana. And Vishwaksena is the commander in chief of Lord Narayana's army. Under Vishwaksena, there is a very prominent devotee of Lord Vishnu in Vishwaksena's army, known as in Tamil, I don't know the Sanskrit name, he's called Tumbike Alvar. Tumbike Alvar means the Alvar with a tusk. Right? So, that Tumbike Alvar, the Sri Vaishnavas, sometimes you may see that in Sri Vaishnava temple, that is not Ganesh. What is the difference between Tumbike Alvar and Ganesh? Tumbike Alvar, both his tusks are full tusks. Ganesh has one tusk broken. Why? To write Mahabharata. The broken tusk is demigod Ganesh. The one with two tusks is the devotee in the spiritual world named as Tumbike Alvar. That sometimes the Sri Vaishnavas have in their temples. Some temples, where that too not many temples. And he's a devotee. He's a pure associate. And what does this mean? If you hear Gokul Prabhu's Goloka Chart seminar, especially divine forms of Krishna, that seminar if you hear, Gokul Prabhu explains that all the demigods in this material world, they are actually given names and qualities of pure devotees in Vaikuntha who have the same name and qualities. So there is an Indra in Vaikuntha, there is a Chandra in Vaikuntha, there is a Surya in Vaikuntha, there is Ganesh in Vaikuntha. And the demigods in the material world, Krishna, in order to purify those who are worshippers of demigods, give them the same name as his devotees in the spiritual world, so that there is a benefit in them worshipping the demigods. It's all Krishna's plan to eventually make them into devotees of him. Therefore, once you become devotees, to go and worship these, then you don't understand anything. That these demigods have gotten potency because their name, the qualities, that all comes from the pure associates. But what is the difference? These demigods have material desires. That's why they are in the material world. Whereas the Indra in the spiritual world is a pure devotee Indra who has the qualities of Indra for the pleasure of Krishna, for the sake of his pastimes, without the inebriety that this Indra has. Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhu, in between you indicated that demigods worship personalities like them. Demigods worship personalities like them when you were referring to
Acharyas. Yeah.
So can you just give example how we can understand this better?
Narada and Brahma are said to have come and heard Srila Prabhupada's classes. Prabhupada said, did you not see? If Brahma can come and hear, Brahma is head of demigods. He comes and hears what Prabhupada has to say. Also it is stated that demigods are also earning to take birth within the Sankirtan movement. When they take birth within the Sankirtan movement and worship Lord Chaitanya, they have to worship them, Lord Chaitanya, through the medium of our acharyas. How will you worship Lord Chaitanya without going through the medium of our acharyas? When the Sankirtan, this is in Chaitanya Bhagavat, when Lord Chaitanya conducts his great, the first civil disobedience movement in the form of mass Harinam Sankirtan procession to Chand Kazi's, palace, his house. At that time, Yamaraj comes. All the demigods come and see this. Yamaraj comes and he faints. So what misfortune? I am not able to do this. So the demigods they want to participate in Lord Chaitanya's movement because they are devoted. They also want to go back home, back to Godhead. They realize to go back home, back to Godhead, they have to come here. And when they come to the material world, they have to go through the medium of the acharyas.
And Prabhuji,
And there are other instances where I'm not able to recollect of demigods coming, talking to pure devotees and things like this.
and Prabhuji, how we can answer one question like ki taking help of medicines like Ayurveda and taking help from demigods, is it two comparables or it is not to be thought of? How
They
we
are
can-
not comparables. The reason is simple. Taking medicine is required for maintenance of material body. Okay? You are taking medicine, meaning taking medicines falls in the category of performance of duty. You have some duty to perform. See, okay, I'll give you an example. Ganesh removes all obstacles. You want to take help of Ganesh. Ganesh removes all obstacles. Does that mean कुछ करने के बिना खाली घर में बैठेंगे और गणेश ऑब्स्टेकल रिमूव करेंगे? No. You have to do your part. Huh? You have to do your thing. Right?
Right.
So that falls in the category of duty. You may pray for help, but your duty is another thing. You may pray that you want some particular desire fulfilled, but the effort you have to put, that has to be there. If I want to get cured, I'll take your same example. If I want to get cured from a disease, I can pray to demigods to get cured from the disease. But does that mean that because I am praying to a particular demigod, Shiva is actually known for this? No, I mean, what is that? There is a Trayambakeshwar. He is very famous for curing diseases. There is a mantra that Mahamrityunjaya mantra. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam. Pushti Vardhanam meaning Pushti Vardhanam. Pushti means nourishment. Mrityor Mukshya Mahamrita. So that there is that prayer. You can pray. Say somebody prays. Meaning I'm not referring to devotees. Somebody is praying. Does that mean you will not take your medicine? You won't approach doctor? If you do that, will you get cured? Now there might have been stories of people getting cured like this and that and that. But generally what do people do? You have to perform your duty. And then they say, oh by the mercy I got cured. But you took the medicine. So taking medicine is part of duty. There's common sense duty that one has to perform in life. You have to take some effort for body maintenance. Krishna provides everything. So I worship Krishna. But that doesn't mean that you don't do anything. You have to take some effort to maintain your body. Then Krishna's will is also there. Now the problem, the comparison is you are comparing duty versus protection. Krishna gives protection. One who approaches demigods for protection, praying to them for protection, please fulfill, please enable me to do this, is doing a mistake because he should understand that enablement that the demigods are able to give you, that is coming from Krishna. You may worship Krishna. You can go to Dhanvantari and pray for relief of diseases. Still you have to take medicine.
So how
Taking of the medicine does not change in either case.
Yes. Got it.
But therefore, the difference is who are you going for protection? Who are you thinking is ultimately going to give you, satisfy your desires?
So when we go through Guru Shishya Parampara to approach Krishna ultimately, so now that doesn't demigod worship doesn't fall into that Guru Shishya Parampara worship.
No, because demigods don't show us Krishna.
Okay.
They never showed. It is your illusion. Yet you respect them as devotees, but you have to understand what class of devotees they are.
Okay.
Our acharyas are showing us Krishna. They are pointing us towards Krishna. Therefore, we can go to them. They are showing direction. Demigods are not showing any direction. What direction have they shown? Who has given us all these books? Our acharyas gave. Demigods didn't give. So how will you go through them to Krishna? They cannot. Only our acharyas can go. Through our acharyas only we can go. We cannot go through the demigods. It's not the same. That's what I'm saying. Devotees have major misconceptions. Big preachers have major misconceptions. And the preacher is one who should be able to distinguish reality from illusion. They are not doing this.
Medicine can be associated with the exercise, bodily maintenance exercise.
Yeah.
So that should
Everything, Prabhu, eating. Krishna will provide food. Kana, you have to take and put it in your mouth. Krishna will give you food. You have to go and cook it. Not, oh, Krishna will give me food. I will just sleep and food will walk into my mouth. What happened like that? Krishna will give you the grains and you go and cook. You cook and you offer it to Krishna. That's your part. Right? That never changes. That part never changes.
so that
The question is,
duty.
people in illusion approach the demigod for the other part. See, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, for any action to become successful, he says there are 5 factors. What is that? How does that verse begin? What's wrong with me today? Everything is forgetting. I don't remember anything today. So embarrassing. Daivam Chaivatra Panchamam. That's how it ends. Anyways, there are 5 factors, and the last factor is Daivam, divine will. Illusory people think that divine will is with the demigods. Divine will is with Krishna. You have to approach Krishna for his will. But even that devotee doesn't unnecessarily bothers Krishna because, for instance, he knows Krishna has to take care of his bodily maintenance. Bodily maintenance, Krishna will take care. Sometimes devotees can pray, but it's a lower platform. It's a lower platform. Why are you? It's like already your say mother is going to cook. Or some devotees say, Prabhuji, I am arranging prasadam for you. Okay, Prabhuji, arrange prasadam. Prabhuji, please arrange prasadam. Prabhuji, prasadam should be arranged in another half hour. Prabhuji, prasadam is ready? You keep asking. Please arrange, please arrange. Please. Then boldly I am arranging. It's my duty. You are my guest. It's my duty to feed you. Why you again? It's a little insulting, right? Slightly. Okay, better you ask him. But if you say, oh, I don't know if he'll arrange prasadam or not. Let me go to the neighbor and ask him, do you have some food? Then how he will feel? That's going to demigods. Neophyte devotee approaching Krishna again and again. Please give me wealth. Please protect me. Please take care of my health. That. It's like child approaching mother again and mother will take care. You do what mother wants you to do. The mother wants the child to behave. The mother wants the child to grow up. You do that, mother will automatically feed you. That's her headache. This is pure devotion. We do what our acharyas want us to do. Krishna will take care of the rest. Okay, you want to pray, but too much encouragement. Oh, anyways, approach Krishna, ask him for material desire. We're not really pulling them up to a higher standard. Am I? Probably want.
No, we are, thankful for your time and your distinction.
No time management. Yes.
One question, same regard actually. At once, someone was asking, and even I was thinking, we take help from doctors, we take help from this, we have to go somewhere, we take help of the railways, planes, so many things. So how is that different from taking help, asking from demigod?
Oh my God, that was just the answer. I think you were busy doing something else. You didn't hear what I said.
No,
It's literally the same thing.
Same,
Yes, similar thing.
same question, but
What is the
Matlab,
difference?
difference is like matlab, people think that we go to demigods to ask for material thing. I'm not going to demigods for material thing, but I'm, let's say, Ganpati Stotra. Okay, so in that we say moksha.
Is that your question?
Vidyarthi labdhe
No,
vidya
I
dhanat
am
labdhe dhanam.
asking.
He is asking a different thing. You are asking no different thing.
Okay, okay.
Okay, but you just explain your question.
Same thing, like we go to some, how do we ask something from demigod? We try to give them something and take is like, just like we go to a shop, we give money and take buy something. Is it like
Why do
that
you
was
need
the first
this
question?
is here's the point, right? Why do you need to ask anything from the demigods?
You don't want to ask, but is it like if someone was asking this same thing, I was not able to,
But why ask the demigods for anything?
But because people like coming before to Krishna consciousness have a tradition of worshipping demigods.
Sure.
Okay, so the question is like, why can't we ask demigods for? We take so lot of help.
in first question, like I have a question. Does it work?
Asking demigods for?
Like, for example, I want some milk and I go to a shop, give some money, buy it, cook something, offer to the shop. And like say like someone has been doing some puja and they get some benefit out of it.
Yes.
To some demigod, it's just
Yes.
like giving something and
Sure.
and bringing it out. Offering.
Are you asking me does that work?
I don't know like
Are you asking me that do prayers to demigods work?
that is one thing.
Definitely they
The
work.
way we do, the way
Definitely they work. Generally you're supposed to do it according to the Vedic scriptures, but still it does work because there is worship. Worship is accepted. It may be faulty, but demigods may accept. So it does work, but it's only material. Ultimately, it's temporary. Okay, what's the next question?
so that I didn't understand this difference. Like I go to a shop, give some money and
Give,
buy something.
give and take. Yes, Prabhuji. We had.
I'm going
You
to
mean
shop.
whether
I'm asking
demigods
for-
can
So, basically, we had discussion about it. Like demigods typically take something from us and then only give. That is what I also understood, like karmic reactions, because karmas are going to be there. So
They can relieve you of some
they
karmas.
will give me, but future karmas, out of that future karmas, they will give me something. But I, whatever suffering I have to do, I have to do the suffering. That was what I had understood.
Not necessarily. Because if you do Chitta,
So I have to give
part and the
something,
part,
then only
part,
I'll get it from demigods. That is what I understood.
if you do what?
I have to give something,
You have to give something.
then only I'll get what get from demigods. But with Krishna consciousness, my all the karmas are abolished,
So
and
what do you want to give? What are you saying? You have to give karma?
I have to give.
We had different discussion.
Okay, that is.
We had different discussion. I was asking like, for example, there is sign.
And what is the question? I'm completely confused here. You, am I missing? You understand something here?
Roji, just sorry for it. We will take this later. I have two questions.
Okay.
One,
Good
I have
idea.
heard, I mean, in past, my father used to recite Bhagavatam 20 or 25 years back. Bhrigu Rishi has given a curse that worshipper of Shiva will get a Mayavan. So just wanted to understand on this part.
Where is that said?
It's somewhere in Bhagavatam. I don't
Really?
remember. I haven't reached to till that.
If you can provide a reference, then maybe I haven't heard that.
Okay.
So
So
I
mean,
cannot-
it's
Some other
mentioned-
version of Bhagavatam.
Yeah.
Huh?
Maybe in some other version of Bhagavatam. See, now we read this Shindu Goswami, but I heard that there is some other version of
No,
Bhagavatam.
Yeah,
there's
there
only
are
one
versions.
version of
Sukh Sagar
Bhagavatam.
and many versions are there.
Huh?
Sukh
Oh,
Sagar
they are not bona fide.
and for yeah.
They are not bona fide versions of Bhagavatam. There's Devi Bhagavatam also, that's also bogus. There's only one version of Srimad Bhagavatam which is compiled by Vyasa and recited by Shukadev Goswami and then recited by Sutta Goswami to the sages of Naimisharanya. That's the only Bhagavatam that we have. We don't have other versions of Bhagavatam. So, if there is something that you're speaking of in this Bhagavatam that we read, Shukadev Goswami's Bhagavatam, then I may comment. I can comment on it. But if it's something from somewhere, I
I'll
won't be able
search
to.
if it is there or not. Then in evening session we'll ask you.
Okay.
And second question, even in Chaitanya Charitamrita and Gaudiya Vaishnava, Acharyas do in case of second initiation, they give Kam Gayatri and we have to worship Kamdev is one of 24 avatar of Lord Krishna. So we have to worship them for stability. So
No. Kamadeva is not avatar of Krishna. Kamadeva is a demigod, but the Kama Gayatri mantra that we are praying to, that is not the demigod Kamadeva in the material world. That is Krishna, who is all attractive. He is Madana Mohana. That means he attracts Cupid himself. He bewilders Cupid himself. That Krishna is referred to as Kamadeva in that verse. So this is that Kama Gayatri is chanted by mundane people to worship Kamadev. But Krishna is being worshipped there because he is our name of Krishna is all attractive. And Krishna is meant to attract our minds. Attract our minds to his service, just like he attracted the gopis by playing his flute. That Krishna, Jayatam Surator Pangor Mama Manda Mater Gati Matsarvasva Padam Bojo Radha Madana Mohanav. Radha Madan Mohan. This Madan Mohan we are praying to, this is one of the three principal deities of Korea. Sambandha Vigraha. So, in that, Mama Manda Mate, my dull mind, my stupid mind, Mama Manda Mate Gati, may my mind surrender and reach you as its goal. Manda Mate Gati, Matsarvasva Padam Bojam. And may I surrender everything that is there with me at your lotus feet, Padam Bojam. Lotus feet, Pada Amboja, Padam Boja, Radha Madana Mohan. That we are praying to Mother Mohan that you please attract my dull mind and make me surrender everything that I have to you. So this Mother Mohan is worshipped in Kama Gayatri. Kama Gayatri is
I mean, within Gaudiya Vaishnava lineage, it's been given by some acharyas so that my mind should not attract to material karma rather than to the Lord basically. That
but I just want to make the
should
point
get
that
transform into
right, but the
Yeah.
point is that the Kamadev is not an incarnation. That's not the point.
So I was in that confusion that it's among 24 avatar.
No, it is Radha Madan Mohan.
Okay.
Okay? Yes.
Prabhuji, when we preach to materialist people and they
When
say
you preach to who?
normal people, materialists, they say you say all other gods are demigods and only Vishnu is supreme. They say you only read Bhagavatam and not Shiv Puran. In Shiv Puran, Shiv is supreme. They say, so how to
Main, see, the point is this. Right? Shiva Puran is not accepted as authority by everyone. Bhagavad Gita is accepted as authority by everyone. Shankaracharya accepts his authority. Ramanuja accepts his authority. Vishnu Swami accepts his authority. All great people accept Bhagavad Gita as authority. The point is, do you accept Bhagavad Gita? I accept Bhagavad Gita, but I also accept Vishnu Purana. It doesn't work like that. Vishnu Purana is ultimately, it's a Purana. Even Shankaracharya gives more importance to Bhagavad Gita over the Puranas. And in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that. Aham sarvasya prabho matta sarvam pravartate. Iti matva bhajante ma buddha bhava samanvitaha. Aham sarvasya prabho. Aham sarvasya. Sarvasya refers demigod also. Sabka malik ek.
In the Skanda Puran, there is a statement with respect to this question that I just had come across this that Lord Shiva tells Kartikeya, I just did a translation, statements of the Shaiva scriptures should be accepted only when they agree with the Vaishnava scriptures. Lord Vishnu is also Lord. That's what
Yeah.
he is telling Kartik here. So if anyone tells you this, you can show this statement to them.
You can show that in Skanda Purana.
Yeah.
The point is this, that the Shiva Puranas are lower grade Puranas. They are Tamasika Puranas. They won't accept all these things. Therefore, the point is, generally you just bring it to Bhagavad Gita. If they don't accept Bhagavad Gita, you can't do anything. Prabhu. I'm just being frank. You can't do anything. You go to the Christian and say, I accept Bible. What are you going to do? कुछ नहीं कर सकते बस. Except Bhagavad Gita. Generally, Bhagavad Gita everybody accepts. So, they will say that's what they say. Yeah, you always only worship Krishna and call everybody else a demigod. Yes. Oh, yeah.
The demigods like sometimes will bring trouble to the devotees.
Yeah, that's also true.
Is that out of envy or is
Yeah,
that by the jurisdiction?
it's actually by envy.
So they receive reaction for that?
It's there in that verse. Ham tarishyami duranta param tamo mukundagiri nishevayeva. Adhyasitam purvatamair maharishi. Now first line I'm missing. एतांस आस्ताय परात्म निष्ठाम अध्यासिताम पूर्वतमैर महर्षिभिः अहम तरिष्यामि दुरंत पारम तमो मुकुंदराणि निषेवयेव. This is the sannyas mantra that was that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told it to Keshav Bharati, and then Keshav Bharati gave it back to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay, this is sannyas mantra from Bhagavatam, and it's in the 11th canto. So there, I think Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, somebody writes commentary that the demigods, they become envious of aspiring devotees, realizing that they are going to attain a position superior to them, and they feel threatened. Actually, they feel mainly they feel threatened. You know why they feel threatened? Because when devotees don't become pure devotees, you know where they go? They become demigods. And devotees' Krishna consciousness is very powerful. Whatever little, it seems like it's something insignificant. It's a very powerful process. It is said that every step in Navadvip is greater than performing 10,000, what is it, 10,000 Ashwamedha Yajnas? What did we read?
Yeah, it was 10,000 or
Something.
100,000.
10,000, 100,000 Ashwamedha Yajnas. Every step in Navadvip. Can you imagine? What is the qualification to become Indra? 100 Ashwamedha Yajnas. You have to perform 100 Ashwamedha Yajnas and you become Indra. When somebody performs 99 Ashwamedha Yajnas, Indra freaks out. And he goes and causes so many problems. But in Navadvip, every step of devotee is performing more than 10,000 Ashwamedha Yajnas. Can you imagine? So when a devotee doesn't become pure devotee and he wants to fulfill his material desires, he goes and becomes a demigod. The demigods are thinking, oh my God, if this fellow is going to take our position away, he's going to take our position away. He doesn't know he's going to take our position away. Anyways, he has material desire, we'll tempt him and he'll fall down. Fall down. It's actually easy to tempt us and make us fall down. That's the easy part. Because we're Kali Yuga living entities. No? Easy, very easy. Anyways, we are nonsense. They tempt you a little bit, you become nonsense again. Of course, those who are fixed will not fall down. But the point is that demigods actually become threatened. And Prabhupada said this. Prabhupada said that most of his disciples will become demigods. And do you know what it means when you become demigod? You will live for so long as a demigod. It's quite likely that Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan movement would have gotten over the 10,000 years that you have in Kali Yuga, that would have gotten long over. Because Prabhu, for becoming Indra, you have to do only 100 Ashwamedha Yajnas. Every step you are doing 10,000. So you might be going somewhere higher than that, right? Indra's lifespan works like this. 6 months is day, 6 months is night. And he lives for 100 years like that. But higher than that, it's way higher. Siddhaloka, Tapaloka, Janaloka, Satyaloka. We'll get lifespans closer to that of Brahma. When will you come back? When will Lord Chaitanya's incarnation come? It can take so long before we come back. That risk is there.
What question on this?
Hmm.
It's like jiva is confined to a particular universe, or it's like Prabhupada says that in every universe, Lord Chaitanya is Lord Chaitanya past time is over here, then he is going to other.
I don't have an answer to that question. I'm not going to act as if I know everything. I don't have a question. I don't have a question. What's the question?
Similar.
Similar question.
Is the
You
time
had something? No, you didn't.
the time same for all universes or just different?
Is
Like,
time
like
the
it's
same?
Kali Yuga in this universe, this place now. Is it Kali Yuga everywhere else or is it different?
I'm not sure.
Because Prabhupada says in one of the lectures that whenever this Dogri ends here, then
It begins in another place,
uh,
but see the way it works, right? How we can do a little philosophical speculation. Mahavishnu is breathing out the universes and breathing in. But breathing out doesn't happen like a flash, and breathing in is not a flash, it's gradual. So some come out first, some go in first. So in that everything is quickly happening. And Krishna is moving around doing his different pastimes. So the answer to your question is no. Time is not the same. Whether living entities are confined in one universe, I don't know. I can tell you one thing, it seems that some travel has happened by Krishna's mercy. At least when in Dwaraka, when Krishna wanted to call all the Brahmas of all the different universes, they were able to come. That's the only inter-universal travel that I have known, that I know of. Other, I have not seen any inter-universal travel. I only see intra-universal.
Narad knows this. I think he can do it.
Narada can go anywhere. Even devotees go everywhere. That's another thing. But I think the real question is about conditioned living entities. Pure devotees go everywhere. There is no question, they go anywhere they want.
that you told me it's like once they become universe, then this in this universe there may not be the
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know. We don't know. I don't know. I I I personally not recommend anybody to take a chance and try it out also. Might not be a great thing to find out. We have a chance now.
Difficult to
We are thinking, can I get it later? What do you think?